It's time to hit the truth.
Hey, I like that. Because that's what it is. It's time to hit the truth. Hey. What's up, everybody out there? I just got so amped with our intro. Because we all about that True Podcast. You know what it is every Wednesday night, 9:30 live here on the wonderful, wonderful platform of podcasting.
Let's go.
Hey, let's go. All right, guys. As always, it's going to be a wonderful night. As D-Mac and myself try to bring you as much substance around from the world, from everyday life as we can. That's what we're all about, substance. All right. We try to inform as much as we can. We try to uplift as much as we can. All right. We try to make you feel like you are not alone in whatever it is you think that you are dealing with as much as we can. And we're going to continue doing that. I want to thank you all. We always appreciate everybody that call in, that tune in with us, our guests all the time. We're very thankful. We appreciate it. Without you, we would not be doing this. OK.
That's right.
That's right. All right. So listen, guys, we always love to make sure that we all have been having great weeks and great days and catch up with one another. Yes, we all do best with each other outside of here. That's what I love about True Podcast. We just keep it true all the way around with each other, you know what I'm saying, at the table and everything else. Ain't that how we do?
Yes, ma'am.
And not to mention that D-Mac is my best friend. I know that she say that all the time. I love that. Y'all have never heard me talking about y'all hear me saying bestie. Y'all hear me saying all type of stuff. But D-Mac is really my best friend. I just thank God every day that I finally have somebody I can say that that's my best friend. Okay? Hey. All right. So listen, y'all. Before Matt get off into what the topic is, I want to say I'm thankful for our special guest that we got coming. One, Miss G. Miss G is coming back to sit with us. Thank you. I love Miss G vibe. She'll be with us momentarily. She on the way.
Yes, ma'am.
You know how us girls be. We got to be, step in and show up and show out. My girl,
pop out and show it.
Sometimes you got to pop out and show. So she on her way. She'll be here in a moment. And then we have another special guest. It's one of my brothers. It's my brother, Lad. Yay!
Welcome to the table, Lad.
Y'all hear that voice?
Table.
What it do? Say it again, brother.
I said, thanks for the invite.
Oh, you know it.
Hey, y'all hear that bass in
Y'all hear that bass in their voice.
Let's go.
We thank you for that, and we know it's real. All right, so let me go around the table and see how everybody's doing. But why don't you put the camera on yourself? Let's give a round of applause to our wonderful engineer.
Hey, she come through every week for us.
To what?
So, Shelly Shan in the building.
All right, thank you, baby, for everything that you do. I look at the video and just everything just looks really great how you put things together for us. So we appreciate you. Okay.
Amen.
Very professional. All right, Mac. What's been going on with you all week?
Well, work, the usual, running behind my child. Come on in, Miss G. We put your mic on, get your earphones on, get ready to join the conversation.
Hello, everybody.
Say better late than
Never. They know how us ladies do. Hey, y'all, Miss G is in the house.
CEO.
Okay.
Yeah, so today is my brother's birthday. It's been a busy regular week, and then today. And I want to put a picture of him up because I want to honor him today.
Yes.
He would have been 54.
Happy heavenly birthday, bro.
About 15 years ago, he passed away. And I miss him. And I've been kind of, my brother, he drank a lot, you know what I'm saying, a lot of times. So tonight I drank, or today I drank, slept, drank, slept, drank, slept. Now I'm woke.
Yeah.
And we're here. So happy birthday, Devin. I miss you. I love you.
Brother was fine in the motherfucker.
She put on my glasses trying to style.
Okay.
She didn't know they was
I
prescription.
should put my glasses, look at brother a little closer, but brother was fine as
These
hell.
boys,
Right.
it's in the blood. It's in the blood.
Oh, baby, you already know. You already know. All right.
How you doing today, Mr. Ladd?
I'm doing great.
You
I'm doing great.
Awesome. How your week been?
Oh, man, I'm blessed. I'm out here making it do what it do.
I need that hat.
Just as well as
I
you.
need that hat.
I just celebrated my son's birthday. God bless his soul.
Amen.
But
Happy birthday, nephew.
At the end of the day, I'm here.
Amen. You here. We made it, y'all.
That's right.
Another day. How you doing this week?
Blessed is highly favored. That's the church. That's the church. I am all right on today. Listen, every day above ground is a blessed day. So how about that?
Hey, there we go.
6
right.
feet above, 6 feet beneath. Let's go.
Let's
All
go.
the time.
All right, so Mac, why don't you let us know what we getting into tonight?
So, as usual, y'all, we have another debatable, controversial topic. Corporal punishment. Is it harmful or helpful to our children? There are arguments on both sides of the coin.
Right.
Some of the arguments for is that it's a tool for teaching obedience and respect. It deters future bad behavior. It instills fear of consequences. Some of the arguments against is it does not address the root cause of the behavior. It corrects the behavior, but it only corrects it temporarily and not really gets to why the child is behaving in that manner.
Okay.
Another con, according to professionals, is that it's not or it produces negative mental health issues.
Okay.
So you know how we have prescriptions, right? I take blood pressure medicine, right? So they give me this blood pressure medicine to fix my blood pressure, to level out my blood pressure. But as a result, one of the side effects is it causes my hair to fall out.
Right.
So you can have a prescription to fix something, but it can cause another problem, which is what some of the professionals suggest. They suggest that some of these children's IQs are lower. They have more academic problems, or they have depression, anxiety, and fear, or they are violent and rebellious. They don't have any problem-solving skills or conflict resolution skills that don't present themselves in a violent way. So these are some of the things that the psychologists suggest that would be against corporal punishment.
Okay.
Right. The bigger question for me is, what is the real purpose of discipline, and why is it even necessary to begin with? Let's look at a couple clips real quick.
Yes.
You'll be surprised at this first clip. Because, you know, when we talk about corporal punishment, you typically think of black families, right?
Right.
But let's look at these two clips. We have one of a young lady, and then we have another one of Kevin Gates. And we're going to answer some questions when we come right back.
All right.
I just found it.
A Texas mom says her 14-year-old son snuck out of the house and stole her car to go on a joyride with friends. Cell phone video shows what happened when she tracked him down.
Pull over now! Give me the belt.
I showed the video to Portland counselor Chad Ernest.
It's not okay. It's not a healthy way of raising a child.
Chad says parents often ask him if corporal punishment is okay or helpful in correcting behavior. He says it's absolutely not.
We actually see the behaviors get worse with corporal punishment instead of getting better, right? And that's what all the studies have shown, is that behaviors don't get better with corporal punishment. There is no benefit at all.
I just whooped my son the other day for interrupting us while we was doing prayer. You not about to disrespect nothing. And yeah, man, why you whooping you? I'm gonna beat my son ass.
You damn right.
You know why? Because if I don't whoop his ass in the house, when he get out there, the police gonna blow his little brains out and they gonna be picking him up off the ground. So I'm gonna whoop his ass. He 1.5. He about to be 2. So I discipline my children. If you don't like it, take me to jail. But I discipline both of them because they will respect you. They don't have to say yes sir, no sir to me, but any other adult, yes sir, no sir. That's how you gonna rock.
You know what? And before we get off into anything else, what just got me was, yes, that was shocking, but looking at the expressions and they antsy about it, Miss G and Lad, I think they have a lot to say, because when they showed that and she was talking about, he was saying that was unacceptable and everything else, whatever. I saw them two pretty much about to jump in there and say something to that man. So I want to know what y'all think about that.
Right.
Miss G, start us off.
Okay, so listen. For me, I'm a PK kid. and I'm also a military brat. So I had the worst of both worlds. And so what it is
They wasn't sparing the ride.
or spoiling the child. Listen,
Exactly.
what happens in my house stays in my house. And you have never been beat till you've been beat with a Hot Wheel track or extension cord and your skin opens up.
Yes.
And that's the kind of beatings that I was, you know what I'm saying, given. But what I'm going to say is today, my mom had 8 kids and none of us went astray.
Right.
Now, I was the black sheep of the crowd, you know, of the family, and I was the gangbanger, I was the stripper, I was the madam, because I did everything that went against my mama's religious raising, right? So when I had kids, I said I would never be like my mother because I hated her. And what I found out that I was exactly like her.
Yeah.
And so what it was the beatings that she inflicted on me, I inflicted on my children. So can we just be real for a moment?
That's right.
My son is 31 years old.
Okay.
And he has spent 15 years in the prison because I thought I can beat it out of him.
Right.
My son has been out for 2 years.
Right.
And he took that same mentality into the prison with him and took a 1-year bid and turned it into a 10-year flop.
Yeah.
He got flopped every time he went up for parole.
Right.
Because I beat him so bad that he has oppositional defiant disorder. And what that is anybody that's in a place of authority, he hates them, but he hates them because he sees me in them. So my son, who has been out for 2 years,
Right.
is trying to find his way as a kid mentally.
Right.
You can't beat it out of them.
Right.
But that comes from years of slavery.
We're going to get into that.
Okay.
I appreciate you sharing that because we definitely want you to handle that. What did you think, if that was your son who stole your car, what would you have done?
He would have got his ass whooped.
Yeah.
He
What does
would've
an
got-
ass whooping look like?
Woo, come on.
Well, ass whooping for me is pretty much what y'all seen on
Get
the
that
video.
belt and go
Get
at
that
it.
belt and go at it. I don't abuse no kid.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? But if you don't,
The system will.
the system will. And the thing is, they rate the way the system is set up now. They raising our kids to go to the penitentiary.
Because it's profitable for them.
It's profitable for them, and they don't want us. They don't want us whooping our kids, teaching them discipline or anything like that. For them to arrest them and send them in there to call themselves giving them discipline.
That's right.
So you know what the psychologists have said about that? They say that parents who discipline their children harshly to prevent the world from handling them harshly, they're parenting from a place of fear. What do you think about that?
I don't think it's a place of fear.
Well, for me, it was. Because I was a single mother raising 6 kids. And with no father in the home because the Department of Human Services said, get them out the house and we'll give you free Section 8. We'll give you free food
You were just
stamps.
talking
We'll
about
give you
that.
free
Just said that.
money. So everybody, their whole thinking, their way of thinking was, hey, I need this. So we removed the dad from the house. And what it was, I'm not about to let these streets raise my kids. So I took on the mother and the father role. And my thing was, listen, by all means necessary, you're not going to disrespect me. When I got a call that my son had did something in the school, I went up there and embarrassed him. Drug him down the aisle by his hair, and he had long, pretty hair. And the teacher, we're going to call protective services. I said, call them now. I said, because if you call the police now, it'll be attempted murder and not murder because I'm about to take him in here because y'all called me.
Right.
Beat my son to the point where it was just, and it wasn't like, you know, a corporal beating, but it was like, I gotta beat you like I'm a dude so you'll know to respect me and revere me. Fear doesn't change a child's way of thinking, no matter how much you beat them.
That's powerful.
And that's true. See, I don't whoop my child for them to fear me. I whoop my child to discipline them. It's a difference. See, that's why I say I don't beat my kids. I whoop my kids. And while they getting that, I'm explaining to them what they did wrong.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So they
in the middle of the whooping, you're explaining to them?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, baby, you gotta talk to them.
You gotta talk to
Like,
them.
let me
You
tell y'all
gotta
what I
let
heard.
them know.
I told you not to do this shit.
But then you ask them, do you know why I'm whooping you?
Right.
All right, so let's talk about what discipline is and why it's needed in the first place. So discipline is the practice of training people, right?
Exactly.
To obey rules using punishment to correct disobedience, right? The purpose is to teach appropriate behavior, to correct bad behavior, or to help develop self-control, right? But then why is it necessary to discipline or teach?
Okay.
If discipline is to teach,
Right.
why is it necessary to teach? Because we're dealing with children.
Right.
So in my research, you start deep dive in, and you start looking at the brain and the brain development, right? So we have a prefrontal cortex that controls our impulses, that controls our problem-solving skills, that controls our ability to self-regulate, right? And we're expecting a mature response from an immature brain. And so when children are acting out, they're acting out for one of two reasons. Either their needs are unmet, or they have not yet fully matured to understand the capacity of their actions or the consequences of their actions, right? And so when these needs aren't met, what should parents do? Is it our responsibility? Okay, if a child is acting out because they feel emotionally neglected or ignored or feel disconnected, do we whoop them because they're acting out, or do we try to find out why they're acting out? Because how can we teach something if we don't understand what it is they're missing or lacking that's causing the behavior?
Exactly.
My thing is this, and this is me.
Yeah.
Before it comes to an ass whooping, I already done talked to you
It's
about
several
this.
conversations.
Several
Yeah.
conversations
Yeah.
about
Okay.
this.
So your first response ain't, so your first time fucking up, I'm not beating your ass.
No.
Absolutely
We're going
not.
to talk about
No,
this.
we're gonna talk
Okay.
about this, and
All
we're gonna try to find out what's going on.
Okay.
Just last week, and the week before that, one of my nephews, I done been up to the school. They calling me because mama at work. Mama single mama, she trying to do what she do. So no, I tell them, y'all call me. Don't call her at work. Y'all call me. So the first 2 times, hey, I go up there. I find out what's going on. Now I'm listening to him. Uncle, it wasn't me. I don't know why.
The teacher don't like me.
Teacher don't like me, this and that. Woo. So this 3rd time I get up there, I had to let him know. Listen, this is my last time coming up here and my last time talking to you. I have to come up here again. Now it's me and you. You understand what? Because I already done been through the talking stage and trying to find out what's going on. You telling me that? So I done went up there and talked to teachers. What's going on? Well, he's telling me this. You understand? But you telling me this. So I'm getting both ends, and I'm seeing where it's going. Oh, you want to be the class clown? So you want to be the class clown? This is my last time coming up here. Next time I come up here, I'm gonna be the class clown.
Baby.
Yeah.
Put on them red shoes and his nose right along
And he
with
does, because listen, and I know, and it's funny to us now. One of his daughters, and so my nieces, and we're the same way. So my nieces and nephews know that if you feel like you can't talk to your parents, you call it Auntie Tat, right? So my brother, and he's always this calm, and he'll talk to you first. He's talked to us, first about things. So when my niece is calling, she's, I'm sick of your brother, and I think I'm just gonna run away. And I'm like, wait, whoa. You gonna run away from this one? What's going on? Well, he won't let me express myself the way I talk, and I cuss when I talk, whatever. I'm like, whoa, what? you cuss at my brother? Or were you really cussing, expressing yourself? I know he would allow you to express yourself, but are you saying in a way of, Dad, I'm venting, you know what I'm saying, this shit hurts, life hurts, or anything like that? No, it was the other way around, like disrespectful, talking back at him, whatever. And I'm like, you still got your teeth? I mean, you still able to call me? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know my brother. Like, I know he didn't talk to you and everything else, you know, before he would go another way. And he never did whoop her, you know what I'm saying? And my niece was going, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, wait, well, I know I told y'all can be free with me too, but, you know, calm down the way you're talking to him. You just talk to him that way? Like, I know him. And I like I say, I do agree. And that's going to go into... Later on, Mag, you brought up something very good as far as the gender is concerned. I can't wait till we get to that part.
Right. So in the black family, corporal punishment is popular, right?
Yes.
Like, and so, Ms. G.
Yes.
I want you to get into the historical context of that.
So, in slavery days, the way that they got their point across was to take the man and whoop him, right? Yeah. They call it buck breaking. And they would do whatever it was to this man, and they would sodomize him and do all kind of disrespectful stuff so that the woman in the house would lose respect for that man. So what we saw as women, like, oh, our husbands got beat, we incorporated that in our households when they removed the man, because that was the only understanding that we had to make those kids fall in line. So through years and years and years, my family included, it was beat the hell out of them and they'll understand. So the first time my skin got ripped, I felt like I was Jesus on the cross. Like, listen, this is what he went through. I don't want to go through this.
Right.
But it struck fear in the rest of my siblings. So I was the black sheep. So I always got the beating because I was the one that was always out doing something. And what they said was, she's lashing out. You know, you had the clear folks tell my mama, oh, she needs to be institutionalized. So she thought I was crazy and locked me up. I just found a better way of manipulating the system. Oh, are you? Yeah, I'm ready to get out, blah, blah, blah. And then that turned me to leaving my house to being in gangs because they showed me the love that I wanted. Hey, it was jumped in, jumped out. I'm already getting beat at home. Why not go get beat by somebody that really loves me? And it set up a false narrative in my mindset for a long time in my life. So for me, I love being in the gang because they love me. And how did they love me? Because they showed me they love me by, hey, let's do this drive-by. Hey, let's go fight this gang. But
you felt included. You felt a part of something, like you belonged. And that's a reason why a lot of kids, they say, act out because they don't feel like they belong, or they feel disconnected, or they feel unloved, or they're depleted of love, right? And all it takes is one person to show you that, and it could be the worst influence in the world, right?
But they show you that one moment of love, baby, and you go.
And that's true. And see, that's me. I'm looking at my comments right now, and it's funny.
I don't see any comments.
Because
I see the comments.
One of my little cousins is on here right now. Remember, I was saying that I raised a lot of kids and everything. He on here right now, and he probably laughing at this because he hear me talking. And he was one of them. Okay, you know. But you got to realize this. I tell my kids' mothers this all the time because they be wondering why my kids want to be with me all the time and everything. I tell them, you can't just be in the house and think that you're raising a kid. No, you can't be there. You have to spend that time with them. You have to show them the love. You know what? Yeah, it gets annoying sometimes. Daddy. You understand what I'm saying? But you got to answer to that and show them that you're paying attention to them. You can't just be off in your phone You can't just be watching a movie, not paying attention to what they're going, drinking, smoking, whatever you're doing. You got to get these kids some attention so they know that they love.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
If you don't do that, so yeah, if you're not getting the love, or they're not showing you the love, but they only showing you the discipline, then yeah, you're gonna still act out, and you're gonna go to the streets and anything else to anybody who feel like they showing you love. That's how a lot of females got turned out into the streets, because that guy
and gangs.
Right.
Yeah.
showed them that little love. Hey, no.
So what do you guys say about the cycle of abuse that psychologists speak about when we physically discipline our children, that it's teaching them to solve problems with violence? It's teaching them to become violent.
It is.
And it actually increases their level of aggression, their level of frustration, and then it comes out in their behavior. What do y'all say about that?
It manifests in that way. I work for DPS, so I see it every day. I'm not going to say the school, but baby, it's a school on the east side that I sit there and I have to shut my office door because they not doing one-on-one fights. They doing 16 people on how many ever people. And I just sit there and I see it on a daily basis. And when I ask them, because I am also part of DPS Gang Squad, and for me, it's hurtful to see you get a kid that's being abused at home, and because they can't win against their parent, they got, in their mentality, they got to come and win against
Bully
somebody.
other kids.
So they bully. When you are bullied, you turn into a bully.
Right.
And I see it every day, and that was me. I was getting beat at home, so baby, the first thing that I fell in love with was the game.
Right.
Because I couldn't beat my mama. She was 5'3". But they called her Granny Clampett. And if I went up against her, she was going to pull her gun out on me.
Okay.
So I went, and I just, for me, it was a life of crime, a life of abuse. And let me tell you something, it carried over from my youth into my adulthood. Because if a man didn't beat me, he didn't love me.
Hey, and I want to first I want to throw out the number. We're going to continue talking, but I want to throw out the number. If you guys don't see it on there, I'm going to go ahead and verbally spit it out to you. The call-in number, please call in, 810-560-0658. Again, 810-560-0658.
Lad,
Yes, ma'am.
you've parented sons and daughters, right? And nephews and nieces and all the
Yes, I have.
Is there any difference in how you discipline the boys versus the girls? Like, do you use corporal punishment on the girls, or is it more of a conversation and that does it for them?
No, they all get their ass whooped.
They all get the business.
But
Everybody line up.
You said they all get the business.
But once again, like I said, I don't beat no kid.
Okay, I feel
You understand what I'm saying? But I do discipline them. You understand
And
what I'm
let's be
saying?
clear, in the state of Michigan, it is legal to still whoop your child with a belt on their bottom as long as they have clothes on and don't leave any marks.
Yes.
It is
as long as they
still
don't leave
legal
marks.
in the state of Michigan
I talked
to
to
whoop your child.
I talked to
Yeah.
CPS myself,
Yeah.
and they told me out their own mouth.
Yeah, as long as you don't leave any marks, they have clothes on, and you're just trying to make a statement, and you're not harming or hurting them.
So I need y'all to go and
But
check that out.
does a person have to have marks to be harmed?
Exactly. No,
No.
not at all.
Because there's been times, and I'm not bragging or whatever, so let me say something to that. So because I had a CPS case, it's anything that's a 3-inch extension above your hand. So you can only have 3 inches of that belt whooping that child, because I went through...
It can't be that whole strap.
It can't be the whole strap. It's
Okay.
anything that's 3 inches above your hand. So it can be a belt, but it just can't be 3 inches above. And so what I did was I whooped my child with one of them big, thick, like old school,
Like granddaddy old
double hole leather belts, and it left the suction marks. And they measured the mark, and it was over 3 inches, and they had me for abuse of a child, and because I wouldn't let the child back in my house, it was child abandonment and neglect of a minor.
So they would.
And I was working in the school system then, and they wanted to snatch
everything from
me.
Can I ask y'all a question? Everybody at this table, we're all adults and we're all African American.
Yeah.
And we all probably have gotten our ass beat.
Yes.
Right? Truthfully. Now, we look at this generation today, right?
Right.
And we like, they so out of control, they need their ass beat, right?
Right.
We got our ass beat.
Right.
We learned respect. Right. We learned morals. We learned values. But was anybody negatively affected by that at this table?
I was when it came from my mother. When it came from my grandmother, my grandparents, hell, even some of my older siblings and stuff, I took it as they really genuinely was trying to help correct me so that I wouldn't have made a lot of mistakes that I still end up making anyway. That they genuinely was doing it, you know what I'm saying? It's like, look, I care about you. I don't want to see you fucked up, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. So that's why I'm beating your ass. You know what I'm saying? Especially for what you ain't got to do that. That's not you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you seem to not get it, I'm about to fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Yes. But when it came from my mother, it felt like it came from a place of her just being frustrated.
Anger and frustration.
Yeah, and her just, you know what I'm saying, just taking it, you know what I'm saying, out on me, you know what I'm saying, because I'm right there, and she was already hurt, so hurt people.
Yes.
So that did something to me. Later on in life, I was still trying to seek, like, some positive, like, attention and stuff, you know what I'm saying, from my mother, like, for years, I was. And it was like, you know, dang, like, why is it so negative? Like, did I really do something? And I think about, like, I really wasn't a bad kid, but I really started acting up and doing more shit, whatever and stuff, because I still was trying to get her attention. Like, you ain't once not even sat down with me to talk to me or kick it with me about what's going on with me and see, you know what I'm saying, why do I choose to do certain things, whatever. And I really, you know what I'm saying, want you to kick it with me because I've seen you go through some of the same shit, but instead of you know what I'm saying, like, talking to me about it, being open with me about it and schooling me on it, you know what I'm saying, like, you just revert to whooping me, and it's not because of really anything that I did. It's because, like, I feel like it's out of your frustration. So it did have a negative effect on me.
So disciplining from a place of anger and frustration. Like I remember, I got so upset with my child. He beat a kid in school with a toy mop in the kitchen area of the school, right?
Donovan is an angel. Let me
Thank
tell
you.
Listen,
He's an angel.
listen. So they called me. The little boy had a scar. The mama was upset. So I came up there, and, you know, I'm just upset. Now, you know, they don't let you whoop your kids in the school, but this particular teacher just let me that day. So I just had to make a point. But I was angry when I whipped him, and I probably shouldn't have whooped him then. You know what I'm saying? I should have just calmed my little self down a little bit before I got to him.
Okay.
But I think that's more damaging than the discipline that's supposed to teach them something. Because if we're just doing it because we're angry, what are we teaching them? This is how you express anger.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's
So do y'all pause before you whoop?
You know what?
Because if you pause, like, I'm going to beat your ass later on tonight after I calm down. And then by that time, they don't forgot about the shit. Because the best discipline for children is immediate. It's immediate consequence so that they can associate that behavior with the consequence.
Yeah, I done had one of them ass whoopings before. And like my sister was telling you, it takes a lot to get me mad.
Yeah.
So even like phone calls from the school and everything, I'm not about to get mad. I'm gonna go take care of what needs to be taken care of, but I'm not angry with it. You understand what I'm saying? I grew up, a lot of times when I got my ass whooped, I got 2 whoopings.
At school and then at home?
No, I was raised by my grandma and my mama. My mama was at work and everything, so anything I did, Granny got hold to me first. Then when Granny got hold to me, she called Mama and let Mama know what I undone. Then I got my ass whooped again because my grandma shouldn't have to be whooping me for stuff that I know better to do.
Okay.
Because once again, that's where the talking come in first. So I can say that no, I'm not mad at now ass whooping that I got. I'm not.
Let us ask you this. Have you found yourself being more lenient with your discipline on the girls as opposed to the boys? And then after you answer that, do you see a difference as far as disciplining coming from the father as opposed to the mother?
Well, to answer that about the boys and the girls, there is a little difference.
Okay.
Because for some reason, the little girls, my voice, after talking to them and everything, a lot of times that take care of it. And that's what I tell you about the talking before it ends up getting to the ass whooping. You understand what I'm saying? So me talking to them and my voice when I talk to them, it done took care of a lot of times. But when it don't, no, they get the same as the boy. But the boy, they be a little bit more hard-headed. And this coming from a guy. You understand what I'm saying? We're a little bit more hard-headed. We're going to test the water a little bit more.
So let me ask y'all a question as parents. Do y'all agree that all children are different?
Yeah.
And that the same recipe for success may not work on this child as it did that child?
Absolutely.
So the whoop is like, I think I was the kid that couldn't take the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, for real. Because I was that kid like, oh, hell no, I got to get the fuck out of here.
Oh, listen, baby.
And I got the fuck out by whatever means necessary. Do you hear me? My brother ran away a year before. I'm like, you gonna leave me here, nigga?
To take this abuse.
You know what I'm saying?
To take this abuse.
I gotta get it all.
Right.
I got I got the fuck on quick. But I was that kid that to me, it was just like, to me back then in the 70s and 80s, I felt like it was abuse, even though it was considered discipline.
Right.
But I was the sensitive, emotional child. You know what I'm saying? So that beating me shit didn't do shit but break me down. It created the fear, anxiety, depression, rebellion. It didn't fix the problem as it may have been suggested. You know what I'm saying? So all kids can't handle that shit. You know what I'm saying? Emotionally and mentally.
Right.
And that might be true.
Yeah.
But like I said, the thing is, it's all about your communication with your kid. You understand what I'm saying?
If it's supposed to teach, then there has to be an element of communication, right?
All the time. And that's what I was saying to the point of.
And don't try to talk to me and teach me while you whooping me.
No.
Because all I'm doing is feeling the pain. I can't even hear you.
This is gonna hurt me more than it's gonna hurt. Told you, like, no, nigga, this hurt. You can't be more hurt than me.
But once again, and the reason, like my mom used to say it, is because she done talked to me about it.
Okay.
Right.
So now this is hurting her because I keep doing the same shit that she done talked to me about already.
So the talking don't do it, then these hands will.
Exactly. And like I say, my mama, she was a single mother. You know, she raised 4 biologically of her own, and 5 that wasn't biologically hers. Her little cousins and everything else, she raised as a single mother. You understand what I'm saying? So, in the same token, like I said, talking, communication, because she talked and everything, and a lot of times that helped. But when it didn't, she put them hands, and then I understood quick. Oh no, she really meant for me not to be doing this shit.
So was the whoopings different between you? You have sisters?
Yeah.
Yes.
So were the whoopings different between you and your sisters?
No.
Girls got the same way you did?
With mama, with mama, yeah.
Okay,
Granny.
She was an equal opportunity. Everybody got it. Everybody got it.
Okay, so I'm a single parent, right? My son is twice my size now. And, you know, when he was younger, you know, I had more of the physical interaction with him. But I was always intentional, even after the fact, coming back later and hugging him and loving on him. Like, my mama used to beat our ass, and that was the end of the conversation.
No, never.
It was never no recuperation of love or just I love you and the whole balance of it all.
Yep.
So I would go to my son, but nowadays it's like he too goddamn big. Like, I was having this conversation with him. I promise. I was having this conversation. He's 6'2", 180 at 15. Damn. Just turned 15, right? So I'm in the car. I'm listening to some of the clips. He's like, "Are you trying to come up with some ideas?" I said, "No." I said, "I'm just trying to, you know, we're getting ready for the podcast." I said, "So how would you feel if I use corporal punishment?" He said, "Mom, I'm too big." So, but anyway, so in 9th grade, he went in 9th grade choosing violence every morning, right? And I'm just like, okay, too many calls. You did this all in 8th grade. We're not doing this year, right? So I made him leave school. Like, I can't whoop you. You're too big. It ain't gonna hurt. It ain't gonna make a difference. And it really didn't make a difference with you coming up, because all it did was cause you to act a fool even more. He was rebellious. And some of the psychologists suggest that corporal punishment damages the parent-child relationship. It damages the trust between the parent and the child. And I literally saw that happening with my child. Okay. Like, my child, like, he would obey me. He would do all that. He would respect me. But we wasn't communicating. We weren't interacting. He would come home from school, go to his room, close the door, eat shit, and take a shower and go back to bed. It was like, it was fucking up our relationship to the point where it was like, okay, hold it. All right, he mad. Am I doing to him what my mom did to me? You know what I'm saying? Am I pushing him away?
Yeah.
Right.
And so I had to adjust, not just because of his size, but because of his mental, right? And so now, what I ended up doing, I know what to do now. You have to learn your child. Exactly. To understand what will work and what message you're trying to get across and how effective that message is going to be, right? So he's a social butterfly. He wants to be in the school building, act a fool, class clown. No, come on home. He finished 9th grade at home.
Yeah.
I removed you from the situation since you can't handle it, right?
Right.
But he ended up correcting his whole attitude in terms of authority, even as he related to me, talked to me and responded and popped back off to me. You know, he stopped all that, because you have to know what hurts them. Yeah. It's not always physical. I can take your Xbox and the world has come to an end.
Yes.
I can pull you out of school and that causes you to go from a 2-point-something to a 3.9. Yeah. And now you're in 10th grade and translating that back into the building. I never had to put my hands on you. Yeah. I just have to learn how to discipline my child. Right. It's not always physical, and it doesn't always have to be.
That's right.
Right?
Are we going
So, Tat, before we get into your segment about alternative forms of discipline,
clips.
We're going to play a couple clips.
And call in, y'all.
Yeah, we ain't getting too much comments.
810.
That's because they at home beating their kids.
Put the bill down for a minute.
Don't tell me how to discipline my child.
Don't tell us. So we're going to play a few clips and then we're going to get up into some.
Tat going to tell us about all these alternative forms of discipline.
I hope I got some.
I'm mad at the first one.
Throw out timeout. This is why I hate timeout. It's a form of shaming and humiliation. There's really no lesson in it. It's like you go over there in the corner, you're not even worth talking to. You go sit and think about what you did. And then after they've been punished and they're in the corner and shamed and humiliated, then you go over and talk and berate them about everything they did wrong. And say, now, you know, you shouldn't have done that. That's why you had to go sit in the corner. Anyway, I can't stand timeout. Just keep following me. I teach everything else to do instead of timeout. But yeah, imagine if you did a mistake at work and your boss put you in the corner in timeout. The kids feel the exact same way. It's just humiliating. So yeah, I understand it's popular. It kind of can work, but it's a form of shame and humiliation. I don't like to do that with kids.
Timeouts are a huge issue in today's parenting. It's become a panacea for many, many parents, and is recommended by pediatricians, and it was originally recommended as a replacement for spankings so that we wouldn't harm our children. Unfortunately, we didn't realize what children really needed, and that the most wounding experience of all is facing separation. If we knew that and understood it, we wouldn't be using this as punishment. In fact, any kind of separation-based discipline, because it wounds children tremendously. What it calls forth in children is very strong emotions of alarm. Now, interesting enough, when they're alarmed, they're moved to caution. So it seems to us that this is a good thing. But in actual fact, when we're evoking alarm in them, it is causing all kinds of anxiety problems. Now we see anxiety coming up in other ways because they need to feel safe with their parents. Another emotion it evokes is intense pursuit. A child will want to be good for, promise that they'll never do it again. This also seems good, but we don't realize it's coming from a place of insecurity. And it's the last place that we want it to come from in a child. And it's making the child responsible for the contact and closeness. It's as if they feel the invitation to exist in their presence withdrawn when we send them to their room, when we withdraw, when we give the silent treatment. It's very, very wounding. But the other emotion that it generates is frustration. And this gives rise to aggression problems. So in actual fact, it is hugely impacting. It stirs children up. Whoever thought that they would send them to their room to calm them down, if our spouses sent us to our rooms to calm, for a timeout, no, it's the most stirring kind of experience we could have. And to put a cap on it, if being close to somebody sets them up for separation, the brain can actually reverse the attachment instincts. We call it defensive detachment. And the child begins to resist contact and closeness. Go away, I don't like you, don't touch me. And that injures the relationship tremendously. So the bottom line is no. A timeout we should not even consider any form of separation-based discipline with children. What we need to do is let them know that the relationship is bigger than the problem, not that the relationship is at stake.
Right. So aside from timeout, since they don't want us to whoop our kids, they don't want us to put them in the corner, what else can we do, Tad?
So listen here. So I'm glad that he said that as far as timeouts, because here's something that I use, especially a lot is power in the tongue, and it's power when you're speaking. And I'm just like my brother. I've raised quite a few kids, and Mac, my brother, and them know the kids I've raised. And so let me tell you some things that I've done. Yes, I am one that's guilty that I have whooped ass. And they know it. Vea, Marco, my babies, y'all know. Even in front of school. So I noticed that when I did things like in the school, and I'm thinking that you embarrassed me and all the effort that I'm putting into you and everything else. I come to these schools, I show up, I show out for y'all, I'm involved in everything, X, Y, and Z, whatever. How dare you? So you embarrassed me. So I noticed that they felt a little more embarrassed, and they would felt down when I did stuff in front of other people in the schools and stuff. Like I went up there one time and my baby was sitting there, and I'm like, she said what? Like she did, and instantly she's sitting right here, and the first thing she did was like this, but it was too late. I had already thumped the fuck out of her nose. You know what I'm saying? I wish you would ever. You understand? I didn't know you was doing this, and they're not lying. You understand? No, we would not. And I don't call it timeout, disciplining that stuff. What I started calling it was grounded, because I need you grounded out here. That's just like, when we do things and we have the fear of the Lord and stuff, and things happen because whatever, our Heavenly Father will spank our ass. Mm-hmm. Exactly, mm-hmm. Right? Spare the rod, spare the child, or spoil the child. No, and I let them know.
And actually, the literal interpretation of that is he who spares the rod kills or destroys the child.
So, yes. And I come from that era like we all do, as far as it takes a village. I also come from where, like I said before, I felt like I did receive some whoopings and shit like that, whatever stuff, out of sheer anger, right? Let me tell you a few things that I did and I did not know. I was told I was wrong in some type of corporal punishment but the schools had hired me. I used to go up to all of our kids' schools at Coleman A. Young, Bagley Elementary, Paul Robeson. I want to thank them, because when I came up there, I didn't just come from mine, but seeing these kids nowadays, how they are just very disrespectful and everything else to these teachers nowadays. So when I walk in there, I came focused on mine, mm-hmm. But then I see the whole, pretty much majority is the same way, and it's like, so instantly, and thank you, J.C. Jones Boot Camp, we used to teach kids boot camp and things like that.
I remember the boot camp.
I started incorporating that as I went to these schools. And if somebody had put me to the side and told me, like, you can get in trouble for corporal punishment on somebody else's kid. And I said, I'm doing what? You know what I'm saying? Like, that was, it was kind of foreign to me. I'm like, I didn't think I was doing that. I thought I was helping. So I walk in, and they just talking, and teacher like, calm down, everybody. Man saw me, and he looking at me like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay. But I'm seeing everybody else doing the same thing, whatever. I'm like, okay. I walked in immediately with my voice. Everybody stand up. I need you to put one finger over your mouth. I made them put one leg over the other leg, and I made them squat for a second. All the teacher did was ask y'all to be quiet, and y'all couldn't even do that, but now y'all doing it for me. And I had one child tell me, you can't tell me what to do. I'm going to call my mama. I said, you want to use my phone?
Let me read this comment from Kyra Denise. She said he is right. She's talking about the psychologist that was on the clip.
Okay.
She said discipline has to happen right then and there. You take time out with your child.
Okay.
You don't separate from them, and time out is based on age and stops at a certain age, and you have to talk to them after.
And some of that, I will agree. As far as I was gonna get into that, as far as a different age, Kyrie, if you can, please call in. The number is 810.
Is that my knife precinct family?
810-560-0658. Kyrie, if you can, please call. We'd love for you to call in, babe. And thank you so much. So yes, I was gonna get off into that as well. I do believe that we have to be careful as far as age, also with mental status.
Do y'all think Kevin Gates, like he said his child was 1.5 years old and he beat his kid's ass, do y'all think that's a little too young?
Well, see, you don't know how he defines beating his ass, because he could have just. I don't see him wearing a kid out.
So I think he should have, because
I was just wondering.
Yeah,
did you at 1.5? Did you physically?
He's setting boundaries.
Did you all physically?
No.
Discipline your 1.5-year-old.
I'm setting boundaries. Like I said, if you don't teach them, if you don't teach them from 5 to 15. If you don't start teaching them by 5, you're gonna regret it at 15.
So 1.5 is a little too early for corporal punishment.
That is.
That's a little too early, but
because they don't understand.
They don't.
But like I said,
they do not.
We don't know what his ass whooping was that he
could have thumped him, and that was his ass whooping. But see, for me, it's cute until you're 2. You know what I'm saying? Because then you kind of understand the stove is hot.
Yeah.
Now, if you done came to the knowledge of the stove is hot and you acting up,
yes.
Oh, baby, I'm wearing you
So
out.
now let's get back into some alternatives. So my thing is, I did also have to take a step back and see what I was doing wrong, and then what alternatives do I do. One, you do start with the talking. You do first learn who you're talking to, which child you're talking to, how old they are, their mental status, and so forth. Okay, because you do have some that's a little more sensitive. You do have some that's going through things that it's like, I don't even know what this child is going through. So taking away things. I've noticed that with the older kids these days, take away that damn phone, take away that game, take away those last 3 pair of expensive shoes and belts that you just bought for their ass. Yes, take that away. And then give them extra study time. You messing up in school? Okay, you didn't turn your assignments? I got some I just made up for you right here. You're going to finish all of those. We're going to go over them and everything else. Those are some alternatives that I had to take as well. Cool down. That standing in the corner, things like that, you don't have to do that. You could do merely cool down in your room. You can cool down sitting next to me, because you don't want to be hanging with me right now, sitting here watching this boring ass movie I'm watching, you know what I'm saying, or put on the commandments, you know what I'm saying, for your ass. So I do things like that to which you know they really, you know what I'm saying, not gonna like. I don't want to hurt, you know what I'm saying, a child. I don't want to destroy them. I don't want to make it worse. And sometimes, yes, we can make it worse. As far as the detachment we were talking about, they feel like, oh, I can't trust you. They may feel like, just like I felt with my mom, I feel like, oh, you just doing that, you know what I'm saying, just to hurt me. It was out of anger. You know, what you really do, you ain't have to hit me. You know, so yes, I do feel like there is alternatives.
It's a couple more that the professionals suggest.
Yeah.
Children learn best by, those that have those certain number of letters behind their names.
Okay.
They say positive reinforcement. So we're quick to punish, right? Let me tell you, so my son, you know, we've had our struggles. We finally turned the corner, thank God. But we were going school shopping, and he wanted these $400 pair of gym shoes. And I'm like, nah, what I'm not going to do is give them to you at the beginning of the school year, because I don't know how the school year going to go. So we're going to let you go ahead and earn these, right?
Right.
So right now he's holding a 3.7.
There we go.
And I haven't gotten one single phone call home about behavior. And I told him, if you can do this for a semester, you can get them shoes by Christmas, right? And so as much as we discipline for bad behavior, we have to reward
There you go.
the good behavior. Because if the only attention a child gets is negative, they don't care as long as they're getting attention.
That's right.
And I'm going to keep doing shit to get this negative
Whether
attention.
it's good, bad, or indifferent.
We have a phone call?
A phone call. Hey.
Hi.
Hi, welcome to Truth Podcast. What's your name and where you calling from?
I'm Kira Denise, and I'm calling in from Detroit, Michigan.
Detroit.
Hey, Kira.
Hi.
What do you have to say about this topic, lady?
So I have this conversation with friends a lot. I don't have any children myself, but I had a lot of nieces and nephews. And I actually used to be a teacher before I got into law enforcement. And during my educational background, I actually have it in children's psychology. And they teach that, like, at a young age, from like the age of like 1 to 4 years old, is where you do like 1 minute timeout when they're 1, 2 minute timeout when they're 2, 3 minute timeout when they're 3. However, the parent is standing in that corner with them. That parent is in timeout with them. Excuse me. And that when you're done with your child, you're supposed to like, hold on 1 second. You're supposed to let them know, like, you're in this timeout because of X, Y, and Z. Do you understand that this upset mommy? And you have to get them to understand what they did wrong. And you have to get them to say, yes, I understand that this made you upset. This will then give them the understanding that they are developing right from wrong. Then they say, like, from like 5 or 6, you kind of do like a give and take rule. So they do something bad, you take something that they're enjoying away from them. When they do good, you give it back to them. They say in children's psychology, by the time they're 7 to 8 years old, they should understand right from wrong. And when they do right from wrong, that's when the Bible, I guess I would say, comes into play, because in Proverbs it teach that you must physically discipline your child, because if you don't, death will come upon you and your child. Like you'll suffer as a parent, and your child could suffer when they become an adult, because if you don't raise them in the way that they should go now, by the time they get older and you're trying to do it, it's going to be too late.
But does that discipline always have to be physical, though? Because I think sometimes in the Bible we take scripture literally, and sometimes it's figurative. And so when he says that he who spares the rod ruins or destroys the child, does the rod typify the belt?
Right.
No,
or
not
does it
necessarily.
typify discipline in whatever form we choose to use?
Whatever form we choose to use, but at some point, like some discipline, you gotta kind of, some discipline, you gotta whoop that spirit out of them. But there are forms.
Come out from among them.
Right.
All right.
Where you can talk.
Yeah, and thank you so much, Kira. I thank you, love. I was looking at your comments like, oh shit, call in, and we thank you, baby. Thank you for joining us, and keep on coming back with us, Kira. We needed that.
Appreciate your call. Thank you.
No problem. Thank
All
you.
right, y'all. This is the time where we have to go around the table and give our final thoughts. We got 3 minutes left to our broadcast time, and we're going to allow Mr. Ladd. What are your final thoughts first?
My final thoughts is us as people, we need to go back to a village raising the kids. Our kids are out of control. And for those who haven't lost a kid, it's a fucked up feeling.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Sorry for your loss.
And with me saying that is, everybody need help raising these kids. I'm not saying that kids just need to be beat on.
Yeah, yeah.
They need to be loved on.
Say that.
You understand what I'm saying? They need people in their life to show them positive things and to chastise them when they wrong.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying? We got to get it together, y'all. Because if not, y'all see they gunning us every day.
Mm-hmm.
Prison, or now they just flat out killing us. So with that being said, we need to get it together.
Okay. Tat, baby girl, what's your final thought?
I totally agree with my brother, and I thank you. I know this was a touching time for him, with my nephew being gone. And I know the type of parent and father that he is, and it's true. It does take a village, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot going on with our kids, you know. Some stuff is inflicted, you know what I'm saying? And they feel like it is, you know what I'm saying, because of us, because of our parenting, because of the lack of support and things like that. So they are in a rage. So just learn your kid. Love on them first, you know what I'm saying? Explain to them what's going on. And then hell, some of them I do believe you still have to snatch them up. Okay? If I couldn't raise you up in prayer and stuff to God and you didn't get it right and I steered you up there, I'm just going to make sure I hold you up there.
Closer to heaven so you can get it.
There you go. That's what that is.
Miss G, what's your final thought?
My final thought is this. We are raising up a generation of kids that are lost. We build more jails than we do schools. Schools are closing down because they would rather not teach us. They would rather beat us into submission. So we spend more funding on building supermax prisons because that's where they would rather have us. So as a community, as a village, we need to get back active with our kids, our family. Listen, back in the day when I was coming up, you got whooped all the way home, baby. And then your daddy came home, he whooped you.
Yeah.
That is gone. So when they did away with corporal punishment in the schools, when you used to get paddled and stuff, and then they did away with God in the schools, and they did away with parents chastising their kids, they then turned around and put money into social workers. They put money into juvenile facilities because they would rather, that's just another form of slavery.
Yeah.
And they would rather enslave us than teach us and have us be the productive citizens that we're supposed to be. Because listen, we are a bad race, period. And if we could get back to where it was, hey, the community,
we'll be unstoppable.
Absolutely.
Unstoppable.
But until then,
but what
it's
y'all
every
don't
man for himself and God for us.
See, and that's true. But what you fail to realize, they training kids now to go to prison.
They are.
The school.
And Mac, I want you
at the school.
Set us straight and set us off.
My final thought is very brief. I think if discipline is to teach, we ought to teach more so verbally than physically. But also, the best teacher is to model behavior. If I practice what I preach, it wouldn't be so hard for me to teach you. Children learn, for the most part, by observation, interaction, and experience. And if we model proper behavior, then we don't have to beat in proper behavior.
That's right.
And that's my final thought. We out this month.